Committee from Lugari Sub-County.
Shukule Beatrice, member of this committee from Kwisero.
Honorable Victoria Zila, a friend of the committee.
I'm Gray Moy, member of this committee from Lugari.
Absolo Mandati, member of the committee.
Tefa Musia, a member of the committee from Malawi.
And I'm Teshi Sylvia, a member of this committee.
I'm Liyai Akedias, the vice chair of this committee.
Benjamin Were, the chair of the committee. Secretary.
Kultu Matemba, deputy director, committee services.
Brian Menishi, legal officer.
Evans Katam, principal research office.
Jael Kweyu, secretariat attached to this committee.
Rafael Mkuna, commissioner of the committee.
Thank you members. We can now proceed. Our nominee, who is Henry Kamuye Marende. Welcome once again. We will start with the general questions. And the first question is for you to tell us your name, date of birth, and citizenship.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Henry Marende Kamuye. I'm a 54-year-old male from Nias East Wanga Ward. I was born on February 8, 1971. Thank you.
A Kenyan?
I'm a Kenyan citizen.
Okay. Before we proceed, you can share with us the original documents with the original ID. Original documents and ID. Okay, we can proceed. The ID? Okay, we can proceed. Maybe you can share with us the academic and professional qualifications, please.
Yeah, I'll start from the reverse order. I trained in Kenyatta University, took a Bachelor of Commerce, Marketing Option degree. After qualifying from St. Peter's Mumias High School and primary school, primary school.
And your employment record and work experience?
Yeah, when I was about to clear wind and teleconstruction as an where I worked for almost 2 years. Then I went straight. I formed my own business called Carburetor Crafts, from which translated to a big small building contractor. That's where I worked to date in construction.
Okay. Employment record?
I'm self-employed.
Self-employed?
Yes.
Work experience?
I've had over 18 years work experience in the construction industry as a construction project manager using my company.
Membership and professional associations.
Being in private business, my membership to professional associations was limited to National Construction Authority, which I was a member through my company.
Thank you. Maybe if you can share with us your source of income and the net worth.
Yeah, my source of income has been majorly from construction projects, and currently I think my net worth is around 49 million. That is after you minus the liabilities I have. And
this 49 million comprises of?
This 49 million comprises of my 3 residences, properties in those residences, vehicle land value, and expected money that I'm still owed from various projects, mostly by the Rambi constituency CBO.
Okay. Any potential conflict of interest?
Not really.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Any honor or awards?
I've been honored for serving the community on the volunteering basis by the Anglican Church in Bungoma, where I've been the youth patron. I was the youth patron for almost 4 years. I guided the youth there, helped them solve their issues. I was also honored when the current governor wanted to introduce himself to the
political affiliation.
I'm not a leader of any party. I'm a passive member of the party, but I'm not in the leadership.
Okay.
Yes.
Any integrity, maybe on integrity issues, if convicted or have active court case or maybe dismissed in an office?
I've never been dismissed. I don't have any integrity issues today.
Yes. Any publications or writing?
I've not had any publications in private business, so you rarely write. Honorable Chair.
Have you ever been involved in any charity engagement or charity work?
Yeah, I currently even pay school fees for some orphans who I stay with and others who I don't, and I've been supporting from most of the time I've been supporting children home in a private capacity, just to teach my children that it's good to support the needy.
Like how many orphans are you paying school fee?
I have 2. One is in Kamuye High, and one is in grade 8.
Yeah.
Grade 8 in Evidential Training.
Okay. Yeah. Members, if there is any, yes. Let's start with the Honorable Niva.
Chair, from the submission of our nominee, he said that he comes from Mumias East. But when I read here, it actually indicates that he comes from Butere.
Yeah, Lord.
Gentlemen, I'm straining. Chair, that he comes from Mumias. But when I look at the submission that is given in written, it's indicated that he comes from Butere sub-county. Maybe we need a clarification there.
Thank you. You can take note of that question. You will respond. Mheshimiwa Absalom.
Okay, thank you, Chair. The nominee has stated that he is not conflicted. Maybe he should tell this committee, because I can see he was chair at Baraza Foundation International Music Festival 2018-2022. Were you employed? Because it's an employment record.
Take notes. Will respond. Mheshimiwa Ndiro.
Thank you, Chair. My concerns were almost similar to the ones that have been raised, although I want the nominee to expand on what he stated, that he was part of the team that really assisted His Excellency during the campaigns. And by stating that, Chair, to me, is it that he has been given this position because he was and he participated in ensuring that His Excellency gets this particular position? I just want him to clarify on that.
Please take note. Honorable Jai.
Chair, thank you. I would also want to ask the nominee, going by the employment record, there is absolutely nothing that indicates anything on special programs. So while he's responding this part about being conflicted, he could also explain if there was anything that was not indicated in the record that reflect your work on special programs.
Then mine goes this way, that from the few sentiments the nominee has articulated here, it shows that he has worked closely with the county boss, that is the governor of Kakamega County. And now this is a public office that if you go through successfully through this vetting process, you will have to occupy a public office. Now, assuming you've been vetted and you're in that office, are you going to use your private connection or your political connection maybe to influence a decision at a desk where you're supposed maybe to put your input? Are you going to also take sides and maybe advise the county boss the right way, given the fact that you worked formerly very close with him, as per your words?
You can now proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Well, I'll answer the first question about the terrain. When you are receiving our identity card, Honorable Chair, our district was veteran alliance. That is how the veteran issue appears in my identity card. It has never been changed. Yeah. Number two, under Baraza Foundation, I was just a volunteer who had an idea to help a friend market himself. Because before he came to politics, nobody knew him. But I knew there's a lot of learned the churches. That is how I came with the idea of choir successfully. And for campaign, I was never actively involved on the platforms to campaign for him. All I did was to help him penetrate the county citizenship. But I never appeared on any platform. I was just a background man. After I delivered the choir, I stepped aside. There was something about special programs. I joined the APDK when I was in university. And all we did those days was to go for meetings, AGM. I had attended those AGMs long ago. So as far as the disability is concerned, I was just a member of APDK and later on enrolled under National Council of Persons with Disability. So I've not had any opportunity to actively do something for the disabled, the persons with disability. But I pray that if I succeed today, I'll have the right forum and the right office to do something for them, because I'm one of them. I know their needs, and I'm ready if this committee approves me.
Okay, thank you. Let us proceed. We'll proceed straight away to specific questions. You will have to be keen so that you can be able to respond to these questions. We will start with the Honorable Niva. Question number 1.
Thank you. Napenda, which is your favorite name, so that when we are referring to you, which name do you like us to use? Okay. Mr. Marende, as the nominee for Chief Officer for Special Programs Docket, could you highlight to this panel your roles and activities in the county department you are being proposed to?
Before you proceed, let's, as Majority Leader, you can introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, I've been consulting on something else. My name is CP Philip Maina, member to this committee and leader of majority.
Thank
you. And I wish to declare interest that I know the nominee personally. Thank you.
Anybody else who has any interest? Yes, come on.
Thank you, Chair. As I said earlier, my name is Timothy. I know the nominee as my neighbor from Mias East. Thank you.
The nominee was born on the same day with me, on 8th of February 1971. We share the birthday.
That's a good one. Then you can proceed with the first question.
You're okay with the question? I can repeat. You know, now there has been interruptions, but if you're okay, fine.
Okay.
I also want to declare that the wife to the nominee is my friend. As the nominee for Chief Officer for Special Programs Docket, could you highlight to this panel your roles and activities?
Thank you.
Please check that mic. You can proceed.
Yeah, if I succeed this day and become the Chief Officer of Special Program, I know that I'm supposed to implement a county. I'm supposed to implement county programs determined in line with the CIDP and also affected by the broad-based economic transformation agenda. I'm also supposed to ensure that every decision I make is full of consultation through public participation. I'm also supposed to ensure that the resources, the scarce resources of this county, are used efficiently and effectively. I'm also supposed to ensure that the marginalized communities are taken care of. I'm also supposed to effectively apply the affirmative action by taking care of women, youth, and persons with a disability. I'm also supposed to work in an open way, encourage transparency during my work, especially during procurement and resource planning. I'm also supposed to ensure that projects that I implement are equitable to the residents of Kakamega County.
Thank you. Let's proceed to the second question from Honorable Absalom Limbasti.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Henry, could you please highlight to this panel the expertise you are bringing to the Department of Special Program that will benefit the residents of Kakamega?
Thank you. Having worked in construction and especially among communities, I have experience in project identification, because we used to visit communities and identify their needs and create a project. So I have that knowledge of identifying the right project for the community. I also have the experience of resource allocation and management. For every project in construction we ever carried out had a budget in form of a BQ. The bills of quantities were our budget. And in the county government, we have departmental budgets for particular programs. So I have experience in ensuring that projects are managed within the budget. I also have experience of coordination. We used to connect stakeholders, contractors, suppliers, clients, and the populace around the project. So I've gained enough knowledge to be able to coordinate projects that cut across different departments. I also, during construction, we give reports almost weekly. I'm able to monitor project progress and give reports. That is also required in the activities of the chief officer special program. I've also had the experience of monitoring the impact each project creates on the ground, which is also required in the special programs document. And with my training background of marketing, I'm an effective communicator that I can highlight county programs, the objectives with clarity, so that the people we're working for can own them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, maybe before we move on, maybe let the nominee advise me, because he has just been a contractor. You see, being a contractor, you don't identify the projects by yourself. You are telling us that you do identify projects, you do monitoring and implementation, yet that's not your work, because yes, you are given a BQ to follow, but you can't identify projects by yourself, Mr. Henry.
Special projects for my church, I've been called to advise on the design to satisfy the needs, the existing needs. So that is the time I come in to help in identifying what kind of the project we are going to implement.
Thank you. Let's proceed to Honorable Moi, question number 3.
Mr. Marende, what is your understanding of governor's 6-point agenda?
Yeah. or carry it out. I understand the agenda as a focused approach to particular sections which address the needs of the government. Number one, under health, I understand that the aims through its government to upgrade level 4 hospitals and also to run a Baraza Care program. That is under health. Under hygiene, water and sanitation, I understand that the main agenda is to make sure that the county citizens access clean, safe water. And it is the clarion call here is a matter of million. Water at the doorstep. Under that is under social empowerment. I understand that programs are geared toward empowering vulnerable groups through giving grants to groups formed by women, youth, and persons with disability. Under agriculture, we also this program of free farm inputs, which is going on for vulnerable groups, enabling them to excel in farming. Under infrastructure development, there's the 30 kilometers per sub-county road development and maintenance, which is addressing infrastructure. And finally, that's what I can remember.
Okay. Let's proceed to the next question from Honorable on Kepa, number 4.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair. Mr. Marende, what innovative strategic plans will you suggest for women and youth mentorship and in Kakamega County?
Thank you. To address the issue of women, youth, and maybe by extension PWD, I'd practice what we call synergy. That my outreach for their needs, I would advise that it or located in the same institution, so that when we talk about giving them skills, business skills, training them, we train them as part of social special limit them in the individual unit, so that resources are effectively used. And also promote youth mentorship. I look for successful county residents who might be within the county or outside to come once in a while to address them, and I'll encourage them to adopt a youth or a youth group. And under the grants, these grants they are given at group level, I'll encourage some feedback mechanism where they are followed up after training and receiving the money. They are followed up to know the kind of progress they are building for their troops, because we want them to be empowered economically. And and for women, I'll also encourage them. This is now something I think is new, to have For boys, I'd encourage them to have county uncles who can guide them in matters life. And for women, and encourage aunties to guide the young family on how to bring up their children, because when there's peace in the family, people can be productive in the farms or in the activities they engage in. Another thing I'll do for the youth is to help them under their groups to come up with a fumigation program to take care of the bedbug issue, which is rampant in the county. That will also create some job opportunities for them and have a very great impact on the county. Under persons with disability, or you didn't ask that, but maybe just to add, everything I've said will be taught to them, extended to them as a unit. Thank you.
Chair, I have an issue here, maybe, if you allow. Oh, Mr. Henry, you are saying that you'll be bringing mentors to mentor our youth. One, do you have connections already, or now that after becoming a chief officer is when you'll get connections? Again, about the uncles and mummies and aunties you are saying, will it require a budget, or you have a different mechanism that you'll reach the uncles and the aunties?
I've been a youth patron in the Diocese of Roma, the extension years for a very long time. I have a network of friends who are willing to come in at very minimal cost, which can be borne without much abuse. So I have people.
Thank you. Let's proceed. Honorable Timothy, number 5.
Our nominee, having looked at your CV, curriculum CV, you've never worked in public sector. How will you transit from private to public sector?
I would like to explain similarity in private and public. You see, in private sector, we talk about profit, but in public sector, we talk about societal impact. In private sector, the processes, decision-making processes are short, they are quicker. In public sector, this is some bureaucracy. In private sector, decisions are made unitary, but in public sector, you have to consult, you have to do public participation to help people understand. So once I become chief of special programs, I'll import and change what we used to practice or in private sector and discard what is not required in the public sector. So I'm well equipped to know exactly what to do, not to go for profit, but to go for impact of programs. Not to make unilateral decisions, but to consult the population through public participation. I'll also bring efficiency in resource management, because the private sector is very hostile. It does not give you leeway to mismanage the resources. So I'll bring that strength to the public office, where I'll be able to know different ways of cost saving. Like I understand the many projects. I'll also make sure that county budgets are met, if not saved.
Mr. Marende, will you not find it so difficult for you to cope up or maybe change from the culture, private culture to public culture, or maybe it will take you time? How are you going to handle it?
Yeah, I think my mind is set up, is ready, and my history is full of dynamism. I'm 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 gifted with the ability. Yeah, I'm gifted with the ability to learn the ropes very quickly and to perform my duties diligently. To perform my duties diligently, and I've left the private sector, knowing that I'm heading to the public sector.
Thank you. Let's proceed to Honorable Sylvia, number 6.
Okay, Henry.
Yes.
The current reports indicate that we have a very huge surge of teenage pregnancies in the county. With other county departments, how will you address this matter?
Thank you. The issue of teenage pregnancies largely depends on the status of the family unit. And family units touch to social department. Social department is also touching on family units. So I'll collaborate with them to ensure that we have the right environment in the family by empowering especially the mother and the youths themselves. That will create peace. Another program I'll do, another way I'll use is to use the established NGOs. I'll create a rapport, reach out, so that they can come in and help train the youth. Another one is what I mentioned earlier, adopting a youth. Another thing will be to carry out education on sexual health, respecting the boundaries of religion and culture, so that the information is disseminated in a way that it can assist the youth to make choices. Another one is for those who are affected, I would bring in a program of ensuring that if they are in school, they are taken back. I know that is happening under the affirmative move, but even social program can also give the data. So they'll have to collect enough data to ensure that the information is there and we make decisions, wise decisions on how to solve it.
Yeah, thank you. Let's proceed. Vice Chair, number 7.
Thank you, Chair. Number 7 is what measures would you put in place to protect women and children from sexual and gender violence? 2, has in your view, or rather from your point of view, has the county done enough to curb violence, or rather these vices of gender-based violence, in your view? And finally, because he's my age mate, and rather my age mate, I must ask you this question. Part of the problem of this county has been rock contractors. And these have been your colleagues. They have abandoned so many projects hanging. Part of our problem. What advice, valued advice, can you give to the governor now that you are now getting to this very, very, very valued position? And finally, how will you resist the attempt to have you, or rather your company, do business with the county? Because again, that is part of our problem, that people from the government have been doing business secretly with the same government.
Thank you. To address the issue of gender-based violence against women, children, I've found out that the county has done shelters in a few places to protect victims. I've also found out that there are desks set in hospitals and dispensaries to address the people who have suffered sexual violence, so that they have privacy. Now also seeing that contraceptives and guiding is happening, peer counseling is happening, which I think are also strengthened as a way of enabling victims to survive. And for the shelters, I would advocate that in the next CIDP, if I'm there, that increase the shelter to sub-county levels and in future to ward levels. And I also would like to bring on board religious leaders to help us, and other community CBOs to help us manage that aspect of taking care of victims of gender violence. The county, so far, what I've mentioned, it is doing something positive, but there's still room for improvement. And understanding the limited resources, I'm not qualified enough to say if it is enough or so far, but if I get into the system and I'll be exposed to enough information to know if the budget allocation can be increased to improve that area. The issue of road contractor under Chapter 6 of integrity, I'm not allowed by law and by morality to engage myself or somebody else who I know is wrong, and in any decision that is meant to recruit them or give them contract, I must declare my interests if I know them and void my chance of performing that process of procurement, so that it is a clean job. And for the attempt of using my company to do business with the county, I want to assure you that it is not possible, because I'm the only director there, so I cannot bring conflict of interest in my new assignment. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed, Sylvia.
The youth of this nation comprises nearly of 75% of the total population, and about half of the total working age population. They are the largely unemployed demographic. what strategic program will you propose as the chief officer responsible for youth to access employment opportunities in the labor market?
Thank you. In addressing the youth, I would first start with ensuring that they have skills, the appropriate skills to handle the opportunities that are present in the market. These skills can be gained through the means of others in change. Another thing would be to approach other employers to come and source their employees from amongst our youth. Another way is to open their eyes to the readily available opportunities, especially when they do smart farming. Youth run events in the villages, they run funerals, they run weddings, and in these events, people purchase things to use. So I'll advise the youth, if they are rearing poultry, to know that such an event gives them the opportunity to have a market. It spurs demand for them, so they should be able to look for ways to attract money, not to chase money. You only attract money if you have a good or service you can sell. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Shikule, number 9.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Marende, what is your understanding of affirmative action, and what measures will you adopt to enhance affirmative action?
Thank you. My understanding of affirmative action is that those are programs geared to address otherwise neglected sections of society, neglected by cultural belief and a patriarchal system. This affirmative action touches first who have been treated unequally, then second on youth who are looked at as inexperienced, immature, and yet they have skill. And third, for persons living with disability who are thought to not have the ability to do anything productive. Fourth, we have the marginalized groups like their societies who have isolated themselves and living in isolation because of fear of antagonism, and also they are minority. Can you remind me the second part of the question?
Thank you. Let's proceed to before is asking for.
You asked for the second part of the question.
Yeah, she had the question was in two parts.
Yeah.
The second part was, what measures will you adopt to enhance affirmative action?
Yeah, the go and encourage youth who are in business or women, people the up for access to fulfilling the opportunity, and also work with the other bodies to ensure that the 5% employee secured, and I'm successful today. That I'll ensure 5% of the employment opportunity which persons with disability, women, or youth qualify for are given.
Thank you. Maybe before we proceed to Honorable Jael, number 10, Honorable Victoria, I know you have a general issue that you wanted to raise, though you cannot be able to score the nominee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Just a question. Now that, first, congratulations for making it to the vetting. And now that you'll be in charge, in case you make it, of special programs, could you highlight any single legislation or policy that is aligned towards the special interest groups? And maybe because this is what is going to inform even your programming and implementation of programs in your ministry. You can just mention any, if you are familiar with any legislation at the county level. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm familiar with the disability bill, the county government of Kamuye, which has waived some fees for us, even business licenses, we've not been paying. I'm also familiar with there is a national disability bill too.
Thank you. Honorable Jael, number 10.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Marende, national government has special programs for vulnerable groups, such as the cash transfer. How will you collaborate with other government entities to ensure Kakamega County accesses such kind of programs?
I would reach out to the national government, and also reach out to NGOs, also reach out to religious organizations handling that area, and also make sure that I have the correct data of the people in Kakamega County who are affected, and also ensure that the decision I take is in line with the laws of the country. Also deal with, I forgot to mention Red Cross and other humanitarian organizations. How in the disability and women area to source for donors who are readily available in the international scene. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed to the last question, Honorable Ndiro.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Marende, if given this opportunity, what measures will you put in place to ensure that we are prepared for disaster management, putting in mind that as a county, we've experienced disasters which have really affected the livelihoods of those residing in the areas of occurrence. And in addition to that, you've also mentioned of Disability Act, and you've said that you're familiar to it. And you've said that in that act you've been exempted, or people with living disabilities have been exempted from paying the what we call they have been exempted from paying not really taxes, but a single business permit. And now that you are here for this particular position, and as a county, we are really experiencing shortage in terms of our own revenue sources. What advice will you give to His Excellency when it comes to the single business licenses to people living with disability.
Thank you. So, to answer the question about disaster awareness, I would approach it in a way of carrying out a survey to know the previous disasters and their current status, so that they get informed of what has been happening before. Then I'd set up at ward level a disaster reaction groups. These groups will not be just in charge of reacting, but will also inform and educate the populace to know how to alleviate disaster, how to avoid disaster. And when something happens, these groups will be engaged in handling at an emergency level particular victims within their location. I'll also look at, identify the resources available for that docket to address that issue of disaster management, and see how efficiently they can be used, and if need be, if they can be increased. I'll also create public awareness through the chief's baraza, use local media, print and electronic, and also use groups, even churches, to create awareness on how to alleviate disaster. On the second issue of on-source revenue, I think it would be easier if clear communication during policy implementation is done to make the population own the project. So I'll make sure people know that we have done this, you have paid taxes. You know, there is this mentality out there that the government always has money. I'll make them understand that for the government to function, we must give something, we must pay taxes. So I'll increase awareness in that area and make sure it is understood, so that the animosity between a tax collector and a county resident is limited. Then my programs will be carried out in a very transparent manner. Carried out in a very transparent manner, so that people are not suspicious that their taxes are being misappropriated. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, Mheshimiwa.
Yes, my concern was that there is an outcry that people living with disabilities outside there are being charged for single business permits. So I wanted him to tell us, I wanted Mr. Marende to tell he'll give to His Excellency when such a matter comes to his table.
Respond to Mr. Marende, please.
Thank you. And through the groups I said I will create, I'll get that information and relay it with the advice that maybe those business permits are issued under the docket of special program, or coordinate with the issuing department, that I ensure that persons with disability are not stuck in that aspect.
Yes, Honorable Jai.
You really want to understand what you are going to advise the government on the issue of
the people living with disability being issued with a license. They are crying outside there that they are being told to pay for the license. What's your take?
My take is there are associations handling these people with disability, and maybe their records have not been transmitted in truth to the relevant authority.
So it means they are not known.
I'll ensure that they are known and they are assisted.
Chair, the reason as to why I'm much interested in that question, it is because there's another outcry that a person living with disability is being used by members who are not living with disabilities to get the single business permits, Chair. So when he says that he'll form groups, I don't know which kind of groups that he's actually referring to, and how will he be able to, and in reality they are living with disabilities.
Jael, you can also raise your issue so that you can respond together.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mine is totally different from this. There is a big outcry on the utilization of emergency fund, and that falls directly under special program. Chair, this might, I would like to know how you reconcile the identity of a disaster, the usage of the budget, and how to reconcile the two entities in the different departments.
So on the issue of disability, people with disability being misused, I think we shall be in a position to get records from the ward level and identify exactly what we are doing, and work hand in hand with the members of the county assembly, because they are doing oversight, and everything that I implement has been approved by the county assembly, and the county assembly under the village admin, community admin, then there's the ward admin, sub-county admin. I think a structure exists where you can verify, and if there is any anomaly, it can be corrected.
Okay, Mheshimiwa Lumbasi.
There's the bit of emergency funding. Yeah, you know, emergency funding can be prone to misuse, but I'm sure there are guidelines. I'm not the first person. I'll not be the first chief of such special programs. I'm sure the county, by the able guidance of the county assembly, has come out with structure and guidelines, which are just coming to implement. It will not be a unilateral or a personal decision to say that, oh, this money should be used this way, because there's the technical team which I'll be working with, and I'll also be consulting, because emergencies cut across departments. So there's a lot of consultation before arriving at a decision. And then after an event, within should be 14 days, I should be able to account for the use of the funds. I not delay accounting for the funds, because that is where misunderstanding crops in.
Okay. Mheshimiwa Lumbasi.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Mr. Henry, I've been listening keenly to your submissions, and you've said that you'll ensure that we have ward disaster teams, so that they be reporting timely on the disasters that might occur. Now, don't you think by us allowing you to be in charge, you'll be overburdening this county government? Because we've had a ballooning wage bill for the county, and even we've passed employment threshold. And here you are suggesting to this committee that deals with the issue with employment that you'll hire more people, you'll ensure more people are hired to ensure that disasters are timely and promptly reported. Secondly, you are now, maybe if we approve you, will be the chief officer, special programs, and about youth and everything. And I've not heard you say anything about the digital economy. And Mark, the environment, the world is going the AI. And you've not told us, you've not told this committee how you'll use the internet to help create employment for our youth. Thank you, Chair.
Proceed.
About disaster reporting, I would use existing structure and negotiate with the different departments, because the county government is structured efficiently. So, sorry, I never meant that I'll come out and recruit people. I'll use the existing structure.
Thank you.
And for the digital economy, there are hubs. Since we work with the national government, there was something that the national government was doing in war. And also go and check if the internet hubs are in place, and also sensitize the youth to use them without adding any cost to the county budget.
Thank you. Mr. Marende, maybe just 1 minute to give us your final submission, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Member. You have accorded me to appear before you and talk about what I can do if I'm given this opportunity. I also promise to work understanding that the county government has two arms. There's the executive and there's the legislative arm. I promise, if given the opportunity, to work diligently with you, because it is through you that we meet, the county meets people at the grassroots. And the other things which I learned very quickly, I learned the ropes very quickly. That is given this opportunity. I have nothing more to say. God bless you.
Thank you. I wish you well as we proceed to write a report. You may join us for tea break, but you are free to leave.
Thank you.
Yeah. First, ensure you reward or you score. Yeah, make sure you score and you sign. We can go for tea.
Will you go detail me later? Yeah. And that is to sign. No, tea is just 10 minutes. Chair, my chair, my chair.